General rule, water needs to be pretty clear to catch them deep, especially when they're schooled up like that. One thing that I've done, Major League Fishing has been a big deal for this, where we go to places and we don't have the opportunity to practice. We don't have the opportunity to know anything about that lake. The first thing I will do is look at the watercolor. Based on the watercolor, I know how deep I can fish. If it's stained, I can immediately eliminate deep water. As a general rule for me, however far down I can see is about how deep I'm going to fish. When it's really stained, you can go a little deeper. But if the water's really clear, I won't fish anything less than what I actually see. And I learned this at Lake Mead actually years ago. Lake Mead, and we were there early in the year. They just got quagga mussels in there. And for those of you who don't know anything about Lake Mead, it's very clear. You introduce quagga mussels in there and it clears the water up even more. And I had a tournament there where I could literally see color change in 45 feet of water. I could see bottom and I could see every rock in 30 feet of water. So color change in 40, 45. So I mean, it's like an ocean, unbelievably clear. And I was practicing for a tournament and I was having a very difficult practice, and I was throwing a drop shot and I was sitting in 35 feet of water, and it got dead calm to where I could see everything down there. And I looked down and I go, there's no reason, I mean, I know why I'm not getting any bites. I can literally see them down there if they're there. You know, how come how do I catch them if you see everything? And I look down and I'm sitting right here, the bank is right here. It's 35 feet of water, I'm casting towards the bank. And I look down and I go, and I throw it straight out in about 35, 40 feet of water, right where I can't see the bottom. I literally get a bite on my first cast. I went around the rest of the day and had a bunch of bites fishing right where I couldn't see the bottom. So if I go to a lake now and I can see 10 feet, I'm going to fish in 10 to 15 feet of water. If I see if I look down and I see a foot deep, I'm going to fish no deeper than 5 feet of water. To me, there's something about light penetration. Those fish use visibility as their way of hunting, I believe. I think they get to where that light reaches down, at certain depths it reaches down, and then it gets darker below that. I think they use that sometimes as what I will typically do is try and catch them vertical first. What will happen is you'll get the school fired up, you'll catch a few, they almost always slow down, they don't bite as well, or you don't catch any, but I will always leave and come back. And when I leave and come back, that's when I go to an actual casting bait. I'll take a swim bait and stop shy of the spot, and that's where I'll have my casting rings, all my mapping to where I know where that school is. I slide up to them. I don't want them to feel the presence of the boat and make a long cast. Now, when I make a long cast to these deeper fish with a swim bait, I'm going to cast as far as I can and strip out a bunch of lines so that bait falls as vertical as I can, as it can. I want it to get straight down to the bottom. Once it hits the bottom, it's a slow roll. So I'm basically slow rolling a swim bait in 30 feet of water. But it takes getting past the school with the bait. You want to try and have that school right in between, you and where your bait lands, to where when you're wanting that swim bait, it's going to come swim naturally through that school. And that's a good way to catch a few extra fish, whether you've already beat them up fishing vertical, let them rest, come back and do it again, or if the fish don't like you being right on top of them, you can catch those fish a lot of times with a swim bait by sitting off of them. Now, when I stop and fish a spot, always
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.